Shipt is delivery done differently. Their expert shoppers pick up fresh groceries, tech gadgets, video games, and even pet supplies from local stores you love. Get everything delivered to your door in as soon as 1 hour, so you're not waiting around all day. Your shopper will keep you updated with text from the aisles and can pick in-season produce like a total pro. Thoughtful shoppers, convenient service, and peace of mind. That's the difference Shipt makes. Try same-day delivery for yourself at shipt.com/WTF today. That's SHIPT.com/WTF.
Lock the gate!
All right, let's do this. How are you, what the fuckers? What the fuck buddies? What the fuckaholics? What is happening? I'm Marc Maron. This is my podcast. Welcome to it. How's everybody doing? Are you okay? Today on the show, I talked to Wendell Pierce, and he's one of the great character actors. All right? You know him as Bunk in The Wire. He was in Treme. He was in Selma. He was in Ray. He's a great actor. Recently played Willie Loman in Death of a Salesman over in London, and he got a big nomination for that, and we're going to talk about that. But it was an honor. I ran into him somewhere, and he knew me, and I said, I'd love to talk to you. And it was really a great conversation. So that's coming up. I did go to the doctor today, or yesterday, I'm sorry. I went yesterday, and this morning I'm going to get the lab work, but I got the basic stuff. And it's scary, man. I got my N95 mask on, I got my fucking plastic shield, and I walk in, and there's a sort of a pre-vetting experience where they have someone who's dressed exactly like me, only she's actually a medical person wearing a plastic shield and a high-end mask and asking me questions and taking my temperature before I can go to the receptionist window, who's also wearing a visor plastic guard and a mask. I felt like, do you want me to work here? I'm suited up. I'm ready. But they're handling it very well, and they're obviously pacing it out. There was nobody there. And my doctor, who I hadn't seen in over a year, she came in. We got to talking, and I told her about Lynn. And, I think that the most haunting thing is still that, I think it would be with anybody. Did I do all I can, that last week? And, But we talked about it, and it's so funny because the nurse that came in earlier, they're going over these questions that they ask you to fill out a form, and she's like, do you have feelings of hopelessness? I'm like, yeah, I do. Is it hard for you to enjoy things in life? Yeah, isn't it for everybody? And she laughed. It's like, you can't, this is no time to do a depression screening. I mean, am I like that? Am I depressed clinically? No. Do I feel hopeless? Yes. Is it hard to enjoy things? What things? What are our choices? But I made it clear that that it was all relative to what's happening, a reasonable response. But everything so far is checked out. I got she did the finger banging, and I guess that's okay up there. And it went on just long enough. And I got all the other stuff seems good. All the stuff that you can check, no lumps or bumps or glands or breathing problems or, reflexes seem good. Did the little hammer thing on the knees. And I always feel pressure to, when they do the little reflex thing where you dangle your leg over and they pop your kneecap. Don't you feel like you need to kick it a little bit? Aren't you I'm like, do you want me to do anything? Because I know nothing will happen if you don't do anything. But I don't know, they see what they see. But I always feel like I kick a little bit, maybe a little too much. But it's a natural reaction. It's not an actual reflex, but it's sort of like, is this what you want? I'll give you this. How about a little of that? Good? I'm glad I went to the doctor because that shows me that I want to live and I care about my health. And I've been working out with this new trainer, and it's doing something different. I'm going to be so ripped for nobody. I'm just going to look lean and good, and I'm not going to be on TV. I'm just going to enjoy it while I can before it all goes. Getting a little achy, getting a little fucking, little crunchy. Bones and joints are getting a little crunchy. It's happening. I'm entering it. Here's the other thing. Now, I don't want to bum anybody out. But, along the lines of my conversation with what was his name? Arthur Jones and Matt Fury, but more so Andrew Morantz around, the internet, the QAnon, whatever. And this is not a paid plug, obviously, but I did watch The Social Dilemma last night, and that's all of it right there, man. That it's all right there. I mean, it's stuff that many of you knew, but I'm finding that many people don't know things. Even smart people don't know things. There's definitely a drop-off. There's definitely a shallowness. There's definitely a surface by which people engage surfaces, but the depth may not be there. And look, I've got it in certain areas too, but really sort of exploring in documentary style. It's a weird thing. It's a hybrid of a documentary and some dramatic stuff. There's some fiction acting with some actors you'd recognize to sort of make the point. But when you really conceive of the amount of time, money, effort, and momentum and just sort of high-tech brain fucking that goes into you maintaining engagement with pages, with products, is kind of devastating in its hopelessness. That the fact that all these tools have been created, these algorithms that sort of dictate our desires and our behavior, that they've hijacked our sort of dopamine response. And a lot of you know this about your phones. A lot of you talk and know that, like, I'm addicted to this, I'm addicted to that. But how it's reconfiguring your brain because of your patterns and habits of online behavior and what the algorithm does and how it caters to you, both in information and in sales, is that's all of it. That is the big business. It should be fucking illegal because it's just mining our desires and our attention for profit. And, now that it's entered the political realm and the political mindfuck is in, and you have people using these tools that were put together, for maybe good purposes, but ultimately for profit, are now being exploited for political ends. It's your brain is vulnerable. Your brain is really no match for the technological infrastructure that is in place to fuck your brain from the palm of your hand. From the machine you hold in your palm, your brain is being completely fucking hijacked and fucked with. And the computer. And you don't, no matter how fortified you think you are, you're not. Because that's what plants that seed, man. That's that slippery slope. Those are the false equivalencies. That's what puts the valve in there. That's what disrupts any sort of notion of any kind of barometer of actual truth. And these fucking algorithms start hammering it with information, and the human brain's no match for it. I'm fortunate in that I don't really buy much, and most of my online engagement is about me, but I would watch it, so maybe you can fucking mind your mind before they mine it. They're mining your mind, so maybe you should figure out how to mind your mind or do something. Save your fucking brain, man. Really. I mean, it's scary, but you should know what you're up against. That's all I'm saying. How's it going? You all right? Everybody good? Also, I've been erratically doing breakfast time on Instagram, so keep an eye out for that. If you're on Twitter, you follow me on Instagram, or you follow me on Twitter. I tend to do that sometimes just to connect. And again, to sort of temper the grief, temper the haunted, temper the loss. I'm still feeling it, you guys, but I just, I'm just trying to not let it become hopelessness or depression. I think I'm doing all right. All right? So, listen, Wendell Pierce has been nominated for a 2020 Olivier Award, which is basically the Tonys in London. He's nominated for Best Actor for playing Willie Loman in Death of a Salesman. And if you're in the New Orleans area, you can hear Wendell on WBOK AM 1230. We'll talk about that because he was responsible for reviving that historic radio station. And just a heads up, folks, you'll hear the sound change a little about halfway through. It changes a little bit about halfway through the interview because the battery on his mic ran out. So he had to switch to the computer mic. It's not a big deal, but that's what happened. If it's not your brain, it's the recording. So this is me talking to the lovely Wendell Pierce coming right up. Nothing lasts forever, right? So how come for some itchy allergy eye sufferers, it seems like allergy season never ends? If you've had it with rubbing your itchy allergy eyes all the time, you need Pataday Once Daily Relief. Pataday contains the #1 prescribed eye allergy itch relief ingredient, and now it's available without a prescription. With Pataday, just one drop once a day works fast and lasts all day. Relief season is here to stay. Get Pataday online in stores everywhere. Folks, how many times a day do you find yourself hoping for a do-over, a fresh start? I mean, we all want that from time to time, but it's especially true if you're someone who has a criminal background, which, by the way, is 1 in 4 Americans, which is an astounding number. Imagine if your future, your security, your family, your livelihood depended on it. The opportunity to not just do good work, but to get back to work. Listen. Dave's Killer Bread believes your past shouldn't be what holds you back. Dave's Killer Bread believes in second chance employment because a job can be the difference between rebuilding your life and returning to a life of crime. It's the purpose behind every loaf they make, and it fuels their second chance program. That's a cause we can get behind. But also, this really is some great bread. I'm telling you, it really is great bread. If you get that Power Seed bread once, you're probably not going to want to get any other bread anytime soon. I've experienced this with the bread, personally. Great bread, great cause, people. Learn more at daveskillerbread.com/second chances. That's daveskillerbread.com/second chances.
How you doing, Marc?
I'm good, man. It's so funny when, you're just on, just kind of at the door getting coffee. I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? Because when I
know.
When you're an actor that I'm familiar with so well, it's like I just assume, like, oh, here we go. There's a scene. Something's happening.
How you doing, man? Hey, listen.
Yeah.
First of all, I haven't seen you since the Spirit Awards. That's when we met, actually.
Right.
That. So my deepest, sincere condolences.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple months.
Yeah. So I just wanted to recognize, man.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, life's funny, right? You don't know. You certainly don't know what the hell's going to happen.
I'm telling you, boy.
How you doing?
Telling you. Good, man. I mean, I can't complain. I can.
Yeah.
But
right.
I can't.
Right.
It's just so frustrating. And it gets crazy and it's uplifting and frustrating all at the same time.
How so? How's it uplifting?
My dad's 95, man.
Wow.
So, the universe has said, sit your ass down, spend some time with your dad.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, when I finished this, I went and watched the basketball game with him last night and all of that. When I finish this, I get tested like weekly.
Uh-huh.
And I'm in New Orleans, so I get tested like weekly. So it's cool.
So you can spend time with him.
So I can, spend time with him. And if anything pops off is within days, I know it,
Right.
So,
do you usually live out here?
Yeah. I live in California. I'm in
right.
Pasadena and in New York. But this has also made me go, okay, you've been doing that whole, I'm New York, LA.
Uh-huh.
After Katrina, I came home. So I'm here in New Orleans. So I'm tri-coastal. I'm like, okay, dude, you're at that point in your life, cash out, get the crib you want to be in.
Yeah.
Stay in one place. Right.
Yeah. So has this sort of forced that hand towards New Orleans or what?
Well, I think New Orleans, I'm set in New Orleans. Like, this is the second home. So I think the hardest part is like, I think I'm gonna get rid of my place in New York. I can't even say it. I have to whisper it and shit. I think I'm getting rid of my place in New York. I have not been in that sucker, man. I literally have not been in it,
Yeah,
and,
well, I mean,
my neighbors always come back. I see them like twice a year, and they go, "Oh man, we've watched this, we've seen you here."
Yeah.